Hello, my friend, and welcome to today's podcast episode. And today I'm going to be talking about getting back on track. We are coming off of a fresh trip to Nashville, which is also why I sound congested. It was really crazy. We came in for our landing, and as my ears popped, all of a sudden my nose started to drain. So excuse my voice. But I'm going to be talking about getting back on track today because this is something I've had conversations with people about over and over the years while I was a health and fitness coach, while I was coaching women with their hormones and learning to live in sync with their cycle. And also in business, I think this is just a really good thing to embody when things have gotten out of routine, when you've traveled, when you've gotten sick or anything like that, is getting back on track really effortlessly, really quickly, and how to tackle that. And I will start off by saying this podcast episode in the front end is going to be very much about a mindset and a mentality shift around getting back on track. And then we're going to roll into more of the tangible things. So we're literally just diving right in today. And the first thing I want to tell you about getting back on track is stop overthinking it. Stop thinking about like things needing to be perfect or a certain way, or like you don't feel like you have 90,000 other things to do before you can start getting back on track. Instead of just overthinking it, just do the dang things without thoughts. Do the dang things without having the mind drama and the conversations in your head about you being too tired or you have this to do or have that to do. And just really when you start to have that internal dialogue spiral, just like stop it and be like, okay, there are times where feeling doesn't need to drive the ship. And getting back on track, getting back into routine, whatever that is for you, or course correcting or starting to make action and progress again towards your goals, it just doesn't need to have the mind drama associated with it. And so that is the first thing, is stop the internal banter that's going on, because oftentimes I have seen and heard people say, oh, I just got so off track because of a vacation that I went on or because of this busy season of life that happened. And when it's like, oh, how long ago was that? It was a week or more. And I want you to think of this analogy. If you missed a night of brushing your teeth, what would you do to quote unquote get back on track with brushing your teeth? Without thought, you would literally just pick up the toothbrush, put the toothpaste on, and brush your teeth. You would just get back into it, because like that's just something, just because you miss brushing your teeth one time doesn't mean, oh, well, I didn't brush my teeth last night, so blah, 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 blah. That means I can't and I missed it I only did 2 workouts last week and now I'm off track because of vacation or because of this busy season or because I got sick or because life just lifes, right? Pick the toothbrush back up, put the toothpaste on, and brush the teeth. Do the workout the next morning, even if it's not perfect, and really just stop the mind drama banter around it, because that's going to delay and derail you for longer and longer than just picking up and doing the dang thing. The second thing I want to talk about is how to pick it back up one step at a time. And I truly think that starts with being focused on and focusing in on the goal, the why, and the plan once again. So, for example, I am on this journey where I am straight up determined to lose weight. I'm now like calling my own BS and I'm getting my excuses out of the way. And we come back from vacation and it can feel really hard, quote unquote, to get back into the swing of things and the reason why. And if I didn't step on the scale right after we got home, but if I did and you see a couple pounds go up, or if you feel like you're in those situations where it's too one step forward, two step back kind of thing. Like I had really good progress leading up to my trip, going on the trip. I enjoyed myself. And if I would have stepped on the scale, I know I'm not just saying this analogy because I know a lot of other people can relate. It's just one of those situations where it's one step forward, two step back kind of thing. You really need to pick back up and get focused on the goal, the why you want to achieve that goal, and re-gauging or just diving back into the plan that you have or had to achieve that goal, and really just recentering the reason why you are focused on that goal, the plan that you have that goal, and why it's important to you. Because then that makes it there's a difference between internal motivation and external motivation. And for me, definitely with workouts, I've always been intrinsically motivated to get my workouts done. There's not a lot of mind drama that happens around getting my workout done because I have so much proof in my life that when I'm done with my workouts, I have more energy. When I've done my workout, I have a better mindset and mentality and energy for the rest of the day. And so I am very intrinsically motivated when it comes to fitness. The area that I'm not necessarily best at being intrinsically motivated is nutrition. And that is something that I'm working on. Actually, in my mental toughness book, there was a whole chapter on intrinsic motivation, and really intrinsic motivation stems from the why, stems from the reason that you are doing something. It stems from the internal, not the external, not you telling somebody else. External accountability has a time and place, but for long-lasting change, the internal motivation makes the biggest impact and is the biggest driver for long-lasting change. And so think about that. Think about how you can really finesse and understand what can be an intrinsic motivator for you to continue on with your goals. And I'm going to say this, like, not everything has to happen all at once, but when you know what is the most impactful and what takes priority, then the whole internal dialogue of the this or that goes away. So for example, when we got home on Sunday, there's a million things to do. But I knew what was going to be most impactful for the goals that I want to get back on track with. Was my priority then was go to the grocery store and prep a soup for this week. As you guys know, and the upcoming episode that'll be next will be another fall fitness routine, and it's going to be a re-upload if you've heard that one before, but it's just a really good refresher. I'm going to go back in and listen to it just to make sure everything that I talk about I still stand by. But I knew that going to the grocery store was going to be more impactful, and it's what took priority over other things, such as unpacking my suitcase. Instead of doing everything all at once on Sunday, I unpacked my suitcase on Monday, did my laundry on Monday, and then there's even more things that I can do throughout the week to reset ourselves from the vacation that we took. But not everything needs to happen all at once, but when you know your priorities and the things that are going to be the most impactful to quote unquote getting back on track, or really just setting yourself up for success and momentum in the goals that you want to achieve, that takes priority. So yes, going to the grocery store, getting healthy and fresh fruits and vegetables in the house, lean proteins, like that took priority over other things on Sunday. So it's not, and I was talking to somebody else about this yesterday. My husband and I, we have really, really incredible work ethic. We have discipline and dedication, but we're also not over the top in the sense of we are two people that when it comes to unplugging, we unplug. When it comes to getting to the spot where we're like feeling burnt out and we need to check out, we do that. But we also know our priorities. We know what's important to us. We know what's impactful. And like I said, not everything needs to happen all at once. And the focus for My husband was different on Sunday versus what I was focused in on, but together we really reset in a very productive way while also playing with our kids. And we went outside because it was a beautiful fall day. So it's not like a all work, no play type of thing. It's a good balance of both. And then to round out this episode, this is like a really quick rant for you guys, that then when you are doing the thing and you're having those spiral thoughts, I talked about that at the front of this episode, just remember when you're holding space for a lot of that internal dialogue and having conversations with yourself of I don't feel like doing that, but I don't need to do that, I should be doing this, I should be doing that, know that that drains you so much more than just actually taking the action. And in all honesty, sometimes I do a couple things to quote unquote get me in the mood for getting things done, whether that be making my favorite pre-workout. You could totally make like a iced coffee or whatever it is that you like to drink. Pouring a poppy sometimes even triggers me just doing the dang thing. Put music on, put a podcast in your earbud, set a timer for 20 minutes and just go and see where that leads you. That is my advice for you today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. And I hope this is helpful, and I will talk to you in the next episode. Bye. Thank you for listening to today's episode. If you loved what you heard or you want to share your favorite episode topics, please leave a rating and review. This helps the podcast growth and gives people an idea of what the podcast is all about. Something new and exciting that I wanted to share with you before we go is that we now have a Patreon page. This has replaced the Feminine Edge collective community in a cohesive place that is easier for me to manage and cheaper for you. If you are interested in our monthly classes, exclusive day in the life vlogs, Bible studies, community Q&A, and more, go to patreon.com/livingInSync and join for just $5 a month. Check out the show notes for any links or details of things referenced in today's episode, and I look forward to chatting with you in the next one.